Welcome to the CrossFit Max podcast.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to our very first podcast. Today we are just doing an introduction to who we are and what's going on in our gym. Hopefully you guys dig this episode, and we'll be shooting out some episodes every week. On to the podcast.
Maybe you have something in your teeth and it's going to piss me off the whole time.
Got a little protein shake in there.
There's like a seed in your teeth. You know what? It's going to give me something to distract myself with.
On that note, we'll start the podcast.
Welcome to your first CrossFit Max podcast.
Wow, this is great. What's your name? You tell them.
Okay. I'm Susie, and you are?
I am Brandon, aka Coach B.
And I should start again because I'm Susie, aka Boss.
aka my wife, business partner, now podcast co-host.
Life partner.
Jesus, the list can go on. But yes, to
you
sum
don't
it
need
up.
anyone else.
To sum it up, it's Boss. All right, let's get into the details of our first podcast here. I mean, why are we even starting this podcast for our gym?
I feel like we should rewind quick before we talk about why are we starting the podcast. I think we should talk about how did we end up here? Like, how are we sitting in this epic gym that we own now, that we opened back in August, which is like, 8 months ago?
Yeah, they can't really see right now, but we turned this little office inside our gym that was absolutely chaotic and disgusting into this little cool...
Literally a hellhole. It was a hellhole.
Yeah, we turned into a pretty cool podcast room, which eventually we'll try to get some visuals for the podcast, but for now we're just doing audio. But yeah, I guess it's been 8 months now, or almost 8 months, that we opened our doors for CrossFit Max.
Yeah, and that was like a lifelong dream of yours, so it's kind of crazy that we're sitting in it right now.
Yeah. It's pretty epic. So we opened CrossFit Max on August 19th.
Hell yeah.
And as we're recording this, it is almost, April 13th. Wow, it's crazy. So we are almost coming up on 8 months in. Yeah, and I guess I've been doing CrossFit for about 10 years now. It's actually my 10th year doing CrossFit. And yeah, it's been a passion of mine to help people on this health journey through CrossFit.
Yeah. I would say I've been doing CrossFit since we started dating, and you gave me the ultimatum of you wouldn't continue to date me unless I at least tried CrossFit. And how sneaky of you, because it worked. And now I'm definitely CrossFit obsessed.
Do ultimatums work? That is the question.
Oh, well, that one worked. And we're married, so there's a bigger plot twist.
Married, and you own your own CrossFit gym now. What a good decision by you.
Yeah. So Brandon and I met back in 2018, and I was a runner, exclusively a runner and a yoga teacher, or a yogi at the time. And now, fast forward, I'm coming up on 5 years now.
Oh my goodness, you don't know this precisely to the hour, to the minute?
I do actually, but I don't want to be embarrassed about how much I know every date of every moment that we've ever shared. But yeah, fast forward 5 years and married for almost 2 years now, which is wild. Yep. And been open for 8 months as a CrossFit gym owner with you. So that's super cool.
We have a lot of things coming up in August. We got my 30th birthday. We got
August is going to be lit.
We have our second wedding anniversary.
Yeah, and our first gym anniversary, all in like the span of a 2-week block. Yeah. So we're not messing around this year. We got a lot to celebrate.
Yeah. So we decided that we wanted to open up this amazing CrossFit gym. We kind of went through the process during, I guess, the end of the pandemic, towards the end of the pandemic.
We thought it was the end of the pandemic, and then it was kind of like the last hurrah of the pandemic.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't necessarily know the timeline in Montreal, like the last time the gyms were closed
was Valentine's Day last year. Well, that's when they reopened, actually.
Yeah, the gyms reopened Valentine's Day last year. And in that sort of like from November to February time period, we were actively looking at like locations and spaces, and call us crazy trying to open a gym while the gyms are closed. But we were looking for locations and spaces so that we could kind of turn this pipe dream into reality. And let me tell you, it was a uphill battle all the way. Mm-hmm. But I would consider both of us very much doers. like this podcast that we did not prep for at all. And we're just spitting fire at each other right now.
Susie wanted to come in and create an outline. And I said, you know what, let's just click record and we'll go.
But I mean, that's like, I feel like that's a good example of what kind of people we are. We're like, hey, let's just start. Let's just do. Hope it works out.
Click record and hope people listen.
So if you're still here, thank you. This is our first episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's just talk about who CrossFit Max is. How was CrossFit Max born?
Yeah.
I guess that's like the big question. So CrossFit Max, how did we get our name?
Yeah, let's dive into our name. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess I'll talk to you, I guess I'll tell the people about the process of actually coming up with or affiliating with CrossFit. You need to go through an application process and you need to have a unique name. And there's about 15,000 CrossFit affiliates worldwide, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Wild.
We'll be at number 1 really soon. But yeah, so there's 15,000 CrossFit affiliates worldwide. You have to come up with a unique name. We also live in a very Anglo-Franco bilingual province in Canada.
Well, we live in an English part of a French province.
Yeah, true.
And so the French literal language laws dictate a lot about what you can call your business.
Yeah.
But we also live in the most English borough of that French province, which means that our clients are primarily Anglophone.
Yeah. So we needed to have a unique name out of 15,000 worldwide affiliates. We needed to have a name that went both English and French by the law.
Yeah. We needed something that had like
something that resonated.
Aesthetic value, but also
Yeah.
like meant something to us.
Yeah.
Which is how CrossFit Max got its name. What does Max
Yeah.
mean to you?
So, I mean, Max is our golden retriever that we got, 4.5 years ago, almost 5 years. He's turning 5 years this year as well. So
Yeah. So Max is our firstborn child.
no, he's our dog.
No, he is our golden retriever, but he is literally the thing that brought me and Brandon together. He's just like such a gorgeous part of our life, and it sounds so like I'm like, oh my god, these people, they named their gym after their dog. But you know that feeling when you walk in the door and you get greeted by your dog, and it's just like that positive, like, oh my god, where have you been? I missed you. You're the best ever. That super
Best
happy
friends.
Feeling that you get when you get greeted by an animal. For anyone who has pets, or at least anyone with dogs, will know that feeling. And that is exactly the feeling we wanted to create for our members when they walk in the door.
Mm-hmm.
When they walk into our gym, we want them to feel immediately welcomed, immediately like we are beyond excited to see them. We are beyond excited to meet them, and that they are so important to us. So that sort of brought in CrossFit Max. And I mean, Max also goes really well with the CrossFit brand, like
Max Health, Max
Maximum
Fitness.
Health, Max Fitness, Max Lift, Max Effort.
Yeah.
All of it kind of made sense. And don't ask me how it doesn't already exist. We got lucky. We got our first pick on our name. And it works in English and French, which is a bonus.
Yeah. I think we were just like cooking dinner one night and Max was just chilling on the couch looking at us with his
Being all
big,
cute and shit.
big innocent eyes. And then I was like, you know what? We should just call it CrossFit Max. And then I was like,
Start
not
off by laughing.
Yeah. Not only does it like work well for like that feeling of like him, treating us like best friends every single time we see him, but it also just, like if you know a golden retriever, they're down for anything. Like they're always positive, they're always ready for exercise, but they're also ready to chill.
Super loyal.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
All the characteristics of a golden retriever is kind of the same as a CrossFitter.
Or at least the kind that we want coming to our gym. So You're all, if you're our members and you're listening to this, you're all our favorite little golden retrievers.
Exactly. Well, you put it like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that's where CrossFit Max came from. When I started CrossFit 10 years ago, CrossFit was like my favorite part of the day.
Why?
It was kind of,
I'm drilling you now. Why? Tell me why, babe.
I mean, besides the physical push, I really enjoyed the workouts that come from a sport background of competitive basketball and volleyball.
Yeah.
So when I finished that in CEGEP, I didn't really have much to fall back on. I was just doing the gym bro thing, you know, chest bra, everything, bench on Mondays, arms on Wednesdays, and probably shoulders on Fridays. And I would never do legs ever. But yeah, so going across the gym, the people there, the coaches, the community, just the overall workouts, the energy and the atmosphere that I felt when I walked in, it was like an escape from the other 23 hours of my day. It was that 1 hour where it was really all about myself, where I got to just escape, focus on me, and just have like the most fun with like a good group of people.
Yeah, there's just nothing like group fitness. If you have never worked out in a group class before, you have got to try it. It will change your life. I was petrified to try CrossFit for that purpose because I'm so concerned, or I was at the time so concerned about what other people would think about what I'm doing. And what I quickly came to learn is actually everyone is just like there to be each other's hype people. And it doesn't matter if you have 5 pounds on your weights or 300 pounds on your weights. Like everyone is just like in it to have a good time, to lift each other up, to better themselves, to better their health.
Yeah.
I think CrossFit gets a bad rap of being kind of like cult-like, but that's kind of my favorite part about it.
It's a cult of positivity.
I think so.
And fitness.
I think so. And I think that's where we were most inspired to have like our own gym, is like build our own culture, to build our own community of positive, focused, driven people. Oh my gosh, Siri, come on. We really wanted to build our culture, get our community from the ground up of just happy, positive people who will prioritize their health.
Yeah, exactly. That's a pretty good way of putting it. And I think we're doing that so far. 8 months in, I would say the last 2 months I've really started to notice that. The first 6 months of the business, obviously, we open our doors at the first week, and 6 a.m. we're here. No one in the 6 a.m. class, and then now it's been 8 months, and I think the last 2 months we're starting to see which I think is probably the coolest thing. We're starting to see like friendships being grown inside the gym, like people hanging out with each other after we have like an espresso machine, and we hand out like free coffee to our members. So like making coffees for our members after their workout, and then like socializing, hanging out. I think that is so epic.
Yeah, like I hate to say I'm a little bit surprised at how well we're doing, because like I never doubted us. We wouldn't have opened this gym.
There's definitely some concerns.
But I was definitely the more realistic one, let's say, and Brandon was definitely the dreamer when we were opening and when we were planning to open the gym. We balance each other out well in that way, but like the gym is thriving, and I'm just watching everybody grow these epic relationships, but also changing the way they formulate their thoughts about working out. And that is by far the coolest thing ever. And I think that's the best part about owning a gym, is that we are I don't want to say the creators of the culture. Like we didn't create positive energy, but we're spearheading it in our community and watching people kind of jump on board and then get incredibly fit. Like yesterday was a back squat test day, and people are putting up numbers that are insane compared to how they were like 5 months ago, and they're cheering for each other. The energy in the gym is high and everyone's fired up, and it's just so cool.
Yeah, that atmosphere that I was talking about before is starting to like really happen now inside.
Yeah, and everyone like knows each other and they're chatting, and these people were literal strangers when they walked in our door, and they trusted us. They didn't know us either. I'm 28 in a couple of weeks. You're 30 soon. We're young. I think we had everyone a little surprised. Like, I don't think that there are a lot of people our age who take this leap. This is both of our full-time job. We don't have a backup plan. There is no plan B. There is no other thing. Like, this is our life. Super cool to see that it's actually working.
It's happening.
It's happening, which is why we're here on this podcast, right? Like, we see that the impact we make inside our gym is already thriving. And how can we grow that? How can we touch more people, or how can we continue to cultivate that feeling inside the gym in another way, which is, I guess, how we ended up on this podcast, would you say?
Yeah, for sure. I think we just want to get our message out to more people, friends, family, people who are maybe a little bit scared to try CrossFit still, people who still have the doubts. So yeah, we'll be sharing stories in these podcasts. We'll be sharing messages, health
hopefully
tips.
We'll hopefully get some of our members on if they're game to have a little interview to talk about their experience inside CrossFit Max and their experience with their health. We have people with some really cool stories.
Yeah. I think everybody. Well, no, that's not true. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people think that like there's zero. Like I'm not ready to start CrossFit. But then when you walk into a CrossFit gym, you're like, oh, this is just another mom doing her CrossFit class, or this is just another student doing her class, or this is just another professional, accountant, dentist doing their CrossFit class and just focusing on their health. There's no like elite professional athletes in our gym. We're all just regular people trying to focus on our health, and we're doing a pretty darn good job on it so far.
Yeah, we really are.
Yeah.
Good job, you, babe. You're killing it.
So are you, babe.
Thanks. But yeah, I would say like the expectation of the podcast is really just how can we touch more people and encourage more people to take that like leap of faith, walk into the gym doors, get over that hump or that fear of maybe the unknown or not being fit enough. We hear it all the time, like, oh, I'll join the gym when I'm in shape. No, that's ridiculous. You're going to get in shape by joining the gym and we're going to help you succeed versus you probably not committing to yourself and not following through if you're out there on your own doing it with no plan and no program, no
coach,
no community behind you, rallying behind you. The beauty of having like a brand new gym is that a lot of us is starting from the same point. We're starting from zero altogether, and everyone's here to lift each other up. And so I guess that's kind of the point here is just like we want to share with you guys.
Yeah, we just want to tell more people about what's going on inside our walls.
Yeah, and why you should come.
Yeah, and also like how it can affect you on the other 23 hours of the day, because we only see people for 60 minutes for 1 hour of the 24. But I think what I've noticed from myself, and I think what a lot of people are noticing, is that it's not just a 60-minute session. It's like it really affects you tremendously outside for the other 23 hours of the day.
Yeah. And I think that you will never understand how much this can change your life until you take the step into the doors. And then once you do, it's just like the snowball of good things happening for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Which I love.
Should we end it there?
All right.
That was awesome.
That was a cool little banter. That was fun. I feel like we don't get to spend this much like quality time together chatting these days just because we're busy running a business. So I'm down for these podcasts.
Thanks for listening.
I feel like, thanks for listening.
I guess it's not like YouTube. Like and subscribe. Maybe give us a follow on our on all the stuff.
I guess leave us a review. This is our first one, so maybe hear us out for a couple episodes before you pull the trigger on leaving us a review.
Yeah, although I think we nailed this one. So thank you guys all for tuning in to our podcast, our first one. We're going to try to get one out every single week. So stay tuned for that stuff. And this is a fun little chapter.
You'll get to know more about me and Brandon, more about CrossFit Max or CrossFit in general as well. Obviously, we speak on behalf of CrossFit Max, but CrossFit worldwide is amazing. And hopefully this will maybe inspire you to get out there and walk in the gym doors or get that extra workout in this week or whatever it is that you need a little bit of encouragement behind. We're here for you, and feel free to reach out to us on CrossFitMax.mtl on Instagram anytime. We're happy to help.
Or you can even book a free trial from our website, www. Do people still say that? www.crossfitmax.ca. So thanks for listening, and we'll chat to you guys in the next one.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.